Episode of What's New at NIACC. And our special guest today, Chris Frenz, going to join us once again to tell us all about it. He's the not only the golf coach, but also does a lot of other things for students or continuing education type things. Don't you, Chris?
Yep, I work in the admissions office and I work with adult students that are trying to get themselves back into college. Obviously, I work with high school students as well. But what we're talking about today with the NIACC Extreme Makeover is about the adult students coming back to school.
How about that? So tell us a little bit about this thing, this Extreme Makeover. I know how many years have you been doing this?
This is the 17th year now for the NIACC Extreme Makeover.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do the winners get of this makeover?
So what they do, so you got to be 23 years of age or older and have not taken a NIACC class within the last 3 years. Now, if you have signed up for summer classes already, we do allow you to do that. So don't take yourself out of the running if you've already come in here and gotten ahead of the game and signed up for some summer classes. But if you're 23 years of age or older, looking to come back to school, all you got to do is go to our website at niac.edu, and on the very front page, I just checked it out today, it says Extreme Makeover right on it. You click on that page, and then there's a short essay or some questions that you have to answer. And as you're answering those questions, put a little thought into them. Doesn't need to be a novel or anything like that, but we want to know what your story is, obviously. And then once those essays are written, it comes to a panel of judges here at NIACC. We then go through all of those and we score them. And let's say we have 50 applications that come in, or 50 entries that come in, which typically is about what we do get. Once we get to the 50, we pare it down to the top 10. And out of those top 10, then we bring those people in for actual face-to-face interviews. And then out of those top 10, we narrow it down to a top 5. And once you're in the top 5, you actually are guaranteed free tuition, fees, and books for a whole year. Excuse me, that's if you're the top 2 winners. You're actually guaranteed at least half-price tuition if you're in the top 5. So the top 2 at the end of this whole thing will get free tuition, fees, and books for the year. The 3rd, 4th, 5th place finishers will get half-price tuition and fees for the rest of the year then too. So it's a great way to kind of test the waters to see if you want to try something. It's a great way to get in here and see if there, is something that you want to do as you grow up, and try and get into some new education.
Yeah. So when's the deadline for this?
Well, it started today, as a matter of fact. So April 11th is when it starts. That is going to be open for 2 weeks. So you have to have the entries due by April the 25th. So 2 weeks from today. So you got 2 weeks to get together your thoughts, your ideas, whatever it happens to be, to write out these essays. And again, all you got to do is go to niac.edu and submit them. If you do not have a computer at home, then you can go ahead and submit it to us by paper form as well. But you have to have it here by noon on the 25th.
What's new at NIACC? We do it every single week, talking with faculty members from NIACC, and we have the full video interview on 987kisscountry.com with What's New at NIACC. Chris Frenz with us again. Tell us about some of the success that we have, or that you have had, or the college has had with past winners. I mean, where have they stayed around the area? Have they moved away in their careers, or what?
I'd say most of them actually do stay around the area, but some people have gone on. Probably one of the bigger successes that we've had is James Keenan. Maybe some people remember that name. That was probably about 6 years ago or so, maybe a little bit longer than that, actually. But he was the guy that actually put his application in, I think 5 minutes before the deadline, basically. And he ended up winning the whole thing. And then he was a tremendous student here, 4.0 student. And then he ended up going to the University of Northern Iowa to get his teacher's degree. But he ended up getting the Jack Kent Cooke scholarship, which is was the former owner of the Washington Redskins. But that was a $30,000 scholarship. That was a national scholarship that he won based off of how good his grades were here and everything. And Then he went on and he got his master's down there at UNI then too. So, and when he was a construction worker, that's what he started out being, and he decided he wanted to change what he was doing. And that's how it starts. We've had other people that, maybe they just need to come in and maybe finish up their degree. There's some people that have done that. There's Shelby Lynn. She's another one from the Charles City area that she's now a teacher. And she started off just having just a few credits and thought she was a para over at Charles City and decided I want to be a teacher. And she went through and got it. So there's been a lot. I mean, like I said, there's 17 years of people that have won this particular program. And so I don't know where everybody's at, but I'm pretty sure everybody is pretty gainfully employed right now in the program that they decided to get into.
Well, that's awesome. So it's not too late. Get signed up today at NIACC. Of course, Chris Frenz, like you mentioned, he's also the golf coach. Do you sit and watch golf?
Of course, especially when it's the Masters.
Right. Okay. So so what do you think of Tiger's performance? I mean, the guy's remarkable on what he did. I mean, to be able to do what he did.
Yeah, that is incredible. I mean, just being able to walk those hills. I mean, people think that golf course isn't that demanding. It's the walk that is the demanding part of it. I think I would go out there and I'd be pretty darn tired just walking,
Right.
let alone swinging 100 and sometimes then too. So yeah, that was absolutely incredible what he did this weekend. He wore out at the end. You could tell that he was tired Saturday and then Sunday, and the weather kind of got to him too. But it's just good to he moves the needle. He is the needle when it comes to golf. But a lot of good young players then too that are fun to watch as well. And I was glad that Scotty Scheffler won it. He's a super nice guy, it seems like, and just seems like a good person. And he's got things going in the right direction now too.
Being a golf coach at a college, do you have any perk? Do you get any perks that you can go to things like that?
No, not that I know of. No, not the Masters. Nope. I have worked the PGA tournament up in Hazeltine when it was up there, but that had really nothing to do with this particular position. I just applied for it and got it.
Were you the quiet sign holder guy?
I wasn't that guy. My job was a blast. I actually got to be at the driving range, and then I actually got to be like up in the putting green area. So I was crowd control, but then I also was on a team called Special Forces is what it was. And so wherever they needed people, they moved us there. And that's when Tiger was playing, and they did move us to Tiger Woods' hole on hole number 15. They told us to walk in with him because the crowds are getting so big that they needed us inside the ropes to make sure people didn't rush him. And so I was inside the ropes with him for holes 15, 16, 17, and 18 that year. So that was a blast.
So let me ask you this: college level to the professional level, as far as why do you have to walk? Why can't you use a golf cart?
It's all part of being an athlete. That's all part of the sport. You have to be able to be physically in shape, and that's part of the demand of the sport.
So that's the reason there's no golf carts.
Sure, you have to be physically able to get up and down the courses that are there, and yeah, it's not as easy as you being in a cart and having a bush light or something. It's kind of one of those things that these guys are working hard day in and day out, and their physical regimen that they put themselves through nowadays is light years ahead of where it used to be when the old guys used to play. But if you're not physically in shape, you're not probably going to make it very well anymore.
How did John Daly last so long?
Well,
cigarettes and booze
he's the anomaly. He's the one that doesn't necessarily, well, at the time he wasn't quite as bad as he is now.
Right.
But I really don't know how he made it, because he bombs it 380 yards and puts it out of everybody else's trouble. That's what it comes down to.
Right.
He can afford to do that, I guess. He doesn't get around very good anymore. In fact, he does use a cart now when he plays.
Yeah. Well, have you seen him?
I have. He's not in good shape at all. His lifestyle's taken a toll on him, that's for sure.
It has. But the cool thing about the watching like Tiger Woods and because he's got a young boy.
Yep, Charlie.
That's very good golfer as well, and could be as better than Tiger ever was. And then John Daly's got a kid that's just as good, if not better, than what he is.
Right. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. It's amazing. Those guys all, well, they got to live up to their dad's persona, it seems like. And I hope they don't think of it that way, because they're their own people, obviously. And especially Tiger Woods. I mean, he's probably the best of all time. I'm a Jack Nicklaus fan, but Tiger he's tremendous. And I don't know if anybody can do what he's been able to do ever again.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's always fun to catch up with faculty and find out some stories about them and what their thoughts are on different things. Like Chris, it works out well with sports. I'd ask you about the Minnesota Vikings, but I know you're a Cowboys fan, so we won't even go there.
Yeah, well, years of regret for you. I feel sorry for you. I feel your pain.
Hey, but we look good on paper for next year.
You do. And I want the Vikings to win. I'm not a Viking hater.
You're just not a Viking fan.
No, exactly.
Right. So, well, good deal. Well, what's new at NIACC? It's always a lot of fun. Again, Chris, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
You bet. Sign up for that Extreme Makeover contest today.